Okay, so I'm just going to have a brief little intro here into KFS and why we're actually moving onto it and how it's going to help us and make things a lot easier for us in the future. Once a customer is on here, it makes things so much easier. Information is always up to date. We can see a lot more information, and we can actually send information to the machine. So we can send firmware versions, we can send new applications, things like PaperCut, MyQ. We can actually send them to the device from here. We don't actually have to go to the customer. So things like this make things a lot easier for us. So let's jump in here. So once you log into the machine, log into KFS, you'll click on over here. If it's not on the devices already, you just click over there, click on devices, and it'll bring up all of the devices. So now this is all of the devices for my account. If I wanted to see per customer, click on these two lines over here, two arrows, and you can then select per customer, and you can see the machines that are at that customer. So you can just change settings for those ones or see information just for those machines. If not, you can just click on one of the machines that you want over here. If like you can see, there's quite a few here. So the easiest way to find models or serials is click over here. You can click on a serial. You can search for a serial number here, but it's easier if you just click over here. This will only search for that customer. If you're in a specific customer, if you want to search the entire system, you'd obviously need to put the serial number in over there. But for easier way, I think, is just using this one over here. Click on the model name. Click on over there. You can see either model name or serial number. I'm just going to search for model name, for example, now. So I'm just going to look for, say, 2553s, hit enter, and there are all the 2553s at all of my customers. So it doesn't have to be just one customer. It's obviously all of them, like it is with the FM sort of thing. So let's say I wanted to go into this machine. We can click on that serial number of that machine. It'll then pop up onto a new tab, and we can see information for that machine. Otherwise, here you can see got all the firmware versions for these particular machines. You can see that this one and this one are on different versions. So if I wanted to, I can just tick over here, click tasks, and then from here I can do the firmware upgrade on that machine. And I don't have to do it now. I can actually schedule it to do it later. I'll show you how to do that in a later video. So now, say I wanted to see all the counters. Click on view, click on counter, and here we have the machines and all of their counters. So you can see the total copies, total color, total black and white. And now if I wanted to, so if we've got a bigger customer, maybe I've got a floor plan of that customer, we've got quite a few devices all over, I can click on maps. You can upload a floor plan of that customer's building, and you can actually drop the machines as to where those machines are at the customer. So you can see it's the machine right by reception, or it's the machine in this corridor, or whatever it is when you are taking a look at the machines on the system. Let's just go back to counters. So now if I wanted to see more information on a machine, I'm just going to click on their serial number. Let's just go back to that 2553, because some of the new features are only on the newer machines, but most of the machines, everything is the same. So let's just click on that machine. So here we have a summary of that machine. We can see what's installed on that machine. If there was a finisher, things like that, you'd be able to see that from here. You can see the firmware versions. We can see the toner levels, and then we can see that the device is ready. So what this means is that the device is online and it is syncing its information with the server. We can see the device's IP address, MAC address, and we can see when it was actually added to the system, or when last it connected through. Then from here we can see the maintenance kit levels. You can see that kit A is sitting at 57% left. So they may be looking at installing a new maintenance kit soon for this machine. Then device logs, we can see here that there's been a few paper jams on the machine. This is just going to show us the last 5. So right at the top 5 that have happened most recently. We'll show you how to see the rest of them now. Now we can see the counters. So here we can just see that the machine is sort of at a bit of a gradual slope sort of use, nothing sort of exciting. So there's been no spikes, no big jumps or anything like that. You can see the consumables. So here we can see toner sort of slowly going down. And then the spike is someone putting in a new toner, but there was still 5% of that toner left in the actual bottle. So there's a bit of wastage there. If we look at magenta over here, we can see that it was actually a 13% when the customer put in a new toner, which is quite a bit of wastage when you look at it, because there's 5% there, there's 13% there, there's another 5% there, and here we have another 5%. So there's quite a bit of toner wasted in the last few toner replacements there. And the nice thing is you can actually see the time and date when that toner was put into that machine. If we click on device logs, we can see all of the device logs on that machine. So here we can see that so today, this is the 27th today, we can see that there were 3 paper jams, and they were actually jammed in the document processor. So maybe we know to send a technician out with maybe new rollers or something for that document processor. So that could possibly sort of save us having to go back to the customer with the replacement parts when we could have just gone there the first time with whatever we needed for that. But also, document processor is jamming. That doesn't mean there's a problem with the machine. It could have been the customer putting the paper in incorrectly or something like that. So we could advise the customer beforehand, listen, document processor is where the jam is happening. Maybe try doing this, try doing that to sort that out. And we don't actually have to go through to the customer, and they can maybe sort that out themselves or over the phone. On the counters, here we have all of the counters on the machine. You can sort of see totals, then the black and white, faxed, print, copy, all the color ones, per page, duplex, single-sided over here, multiple pages per sheet. So you can see that's actually something not a lot of people actually use. This customer's actually made a few of those, well, 25, not a lot. Then, as you can see, how many scan pages were for copying, faxing, or other, and the total life count on the machine. If we go to more details, we can just see a few more sort of bit more information on the machine, MAC address, host name, the machine's IP address, default gateway, things like that. Panel status, if you click on that, it'll just show you sort of if there is an error on the screen for the machine, or if it's sleeping right now, you'll be able to see that from there. It does take a second or two for that to come up, because it now needs to reach out to the machine, say, hey, I need to see what your panel status is, and that machine will then wake up, send that information through to KFS, and then we'll get it. So it does take a few seconds for that to come through. High pass, we can actually install high pass applications from here. So if I wanted to install PaperCut or a new version of PaperCut on the machine, I can just click over there. We can install it from here. So it saves on having to go out to the customer for something like that. If it was the virtual fax, maybe application that we needed to install on the machine, we can do it from here. Notification. So if there is low toner, if there's paper jams, if there's errors on the machine, failures and stuff like that, here we'd be able to set up the notifications for the machine. You can see nothing actually has happened for this machine, possibly because no notification criteria is actually set up for the machine. That's why it's not showing anything here. So if we go to criteria, we can set up, so I've got a blanket that I set up on all of the customers. So whenever customer's toner level gets to 15%, I will then get an email, or someone in the service department will get an email. And we can do the same with other sort of events like paper jams and things like that. So I'll show you how to set that up in a later video. Task status. From here, we'll be able to see when last I did a firmware update from the system. Here you can see I've pulled the status page for the machine twice from here. So we don't actually have to go to the customer to pull a status page. We can do that from here. And we'll do that from the tasks menu over here. So here, if I wanted to, I could pull the event log, click on retrieve, and it would just bring that event log through if I wanted to view it. Here is the event log printed from the machine. Let's go to something that we use more often. So like the status page over here, you can see I pulled this one a while ago. Let's just go to a more recent one. Click on the eye over here. We can see that status page now. And here you have the counters and everything that would be on the status page. And you could also then download that if you wanted to over there. Okay, and then if I wanted to obviously firmware upgrade the machine from here, I could restart the machine from here. I could change some of the maintenance mode settings from here and change a few device settings. And then I could also take a screenshot of the panel. Now with this, obviously with POPI compliance and things like that, we need to have some sort of confirmation from the user's end. So if you click on panel screenshot, it'll actually ask the user on the machine to say, hey, please say yes or no. Do you want someone to be able to take a screenshot? With that, you can leave a note on the panel. So say I know it's the director's birthday tomorrow. I can leave a happy birthday message on the panel for him, and I can schedule it for tomorrow or 2 weeks from now or whenever it is. Okay, so yeah, that's just a brief sort of what we can do with KFS and why it is a lot better. Obviously, you'll be able to see now. And setting it up, going in depth into some of these, I'll go into with some videos to follow.